Back to my channel. So remember, we were live earlier on eating doubles, and now we're back home. And remember, I said I was going to do provision saltfish for lunch. So I'm going to unpack firstly what we got, but I have some water boiling already, and that is gonna be for our saltfish. But the saltfish that I purchased is the boneless saltfish, which is not the one that you get in the market. So this one, you just need to have it in some hot water for about half an hour or so, and then you take it out and you just strip it apart. So we're gonna get into that because my water is already ready for that, right? I bought 1 pack of this boned salted Alaska pollock fillets. This is what it looks like. So this is boneless saltfish, right? And it doesn't taste much different. It's just a lot faster to prepare than the ones with the bone from the market, right? And I went on the road late, so I did not get to go to the market. So this is the one that we're working with. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I said earlier on, we are making provision on saltfish, and I'm just unpacking what we purchased from the grocery and by the vegetable stall out the road. So we're starting with our saltfish, and this is boneless saltfish. So I have a bowl, an empty bowl here, right? I'm gonna put the saltfish in. So this is what it looks like. So I'm gonna put it in the bowl right in front of me. And I have some water boiling already that I'm just gonna pour that hot water on it, and that is to get out the extra saltiness from it, right? This does not need to be boiled, so it cuts down on the preparation time. This is the packaging this is the brand that we use today, rather than the one from the market, because I didn't get a chance to go to the market. So I have my bowl here ready with my saltfish, and I'm gonna put the hot water, I'm gonna pour hot water into here and just leave that while we prepare the provision. So I have my boiling water here. I'm just gonna pour it all over the saltfish and allow that to do its thing while we prepare the provision. Nice. Now at the vegetable store we got pimento. We got some fresh pimento, and I like red pimentos, especially when I'm making provision on saltfish, because I find it gives it a really nice color, right? So we have that. We have some onions. Hi, Christopher Lavon. We have some potatoes. Good evening from Sweden. Nice to have you here. We have one of my favorite things, dasheen. And I'm going to start by peeling this first. And from the vegetable store also I got some green fig. Right? So these are the provisions that I'm going to be using today for my provision on saltfish. Good morning from British Columbia. Hello. So usually when I go to the vegetable store and I'm buying dasheen, I like to ask them to cut my dasheen into 4. It makes it much easier to peel. I am from Trinidad, so we're making a Trinidad dish today. We're making provision on saltfish. For those of you who are new here, and this is our dasheen. Right, I'm just gonna peel it. I have a discard bowl here, and I have a bowl with water in front of me, so that when I'm finished with peeling it, I can put it into the water. Right, I'm just gonna cut this down the center like that. So it's just gonna make it much easier to boil. So I'm gonna peel all of what I have here. Right, and why we're putting it in water is so that it takes off any dirt off of the provision, and then we're gonna wash it off completely when we are finished peeling everything. So like I said, for those of you who just came in, we are cooking provision and saltfish today, and I have my saltfish already here scalding. I just have it soaking in some hot water because it's the boneless saltfish that we have today. And I'm just peeling my provision. So my provision of choice for today is dasheen, potato, and green fig. Alright, so we went on the road to get ingredients, and I was live earlier on eating some doubles. I have my water behind me already. I'm from Trinidad. I have my water behind me boiling already for my provision. So it's just a matter of finishing, peel it to put it to boil. Yeah, it is beautiful here. We are Caribbean island. So I'm just peeling off.
Mommy, is that still you?
Yeah. My daughter just came across my life, so she's very excited. Okay, so like I said, we're just peeling some dasheen here. What is dasheen called by you? Is that like a potato thing? It's called dasheen. So it's a root vegetable, which means it grows in the ground and the leaves come up on top. Right? So it's a little bit it's a starch, right? And we eat it with saltfish. We also eat it with you can eat it with peas. Sometimes persons butter it up and bake it like a pie, put cheese, etc., meat and stuff. I like to eat my provision just as is. So dasheen you can actually eat from the root, which is what we're going to be using here, and then also you can eat the leaves, and the leaves, we use the leaves to make bhaji, or we use the leaves to make something called callaloo, which is callaloo bush or dasheen bush leaf with okra, What else we put in it? Pumpkin. We put different spices, different green seasonings. So yeah, so that's what we do. So you can eat your provisions with just about anything. I like to eat my provisions with saltfish, with peas, like lentils, what else? Red beans or pink beans. Yes, thank you. Girl Dad cooking up deliciousness. Yes, thank you. Remind them to hit that like and subscribe button. Alright, so I'm just peeling this back here, right? And I have it soaking in some water. We're almost finished. We have like 2 more pieces to go. But my family, we love provision and saltfish. And we love provision and whole. I usually also put provision in my soup. So when I'm making corn soup, when I'm making beef soup, I put my provisions. I also have those recipes on my channel. So if you all are interested in that type of content, you all can check out my other type of long form videos where I showcase my other Trinidad local recipes. Alright. So I have my water possibly almost ready for my dasheen to go in. This is not going to take very long to boil, possibly like about a half an hour. And I think that was it. Oh, I have one more piece. I thought that was the last piece. And this is our last piece here. It does have this type of skin on the outside, and after some time with cooking this or peeling this, your skin tends to scratch a little. This, not all dasheen has that effect, but you do experience that. And when you just wash your hands a few times with soap and water, and it's sufficient. Thank you for the person, Hustle No Luck, who sent that gift. Thank you. Right. And we have one more piece, and then I have to take this to the sink to wash it out and put it in the pot. And my pot is just simply boiling water with soap. That's it. Does that soften up when it boils? Yes, it does. But it is still much more on the stiffer side when it boils, but it does get soft. It doesn't get entirely soft like a potato because it's much more on the heavier starch side. So it doesn't get soft like a potato. So this is our bowl. with all the dasheen that we just boiled. So I have to take this to the sink to wash it out before I put it into the pot, right? Because I peeled all of my dasheen already. Right, and this is my discard pile here with all the skin from the dasheen that we just boiled. If you have a compost bin, you can repurpose this. Alright, but I'm just gonna go by the sink real quick and come back. Right, so this is our dasheen when it is fully washed properly. Right, so I have my pots behind me boiling, so I'm just gonna put this in the pot. I have to prepare a separate pot for the green fig, because what the green fig tends to do, the iron from the green fig, it tends to get everything as brown. So I don't want all my other provisions to get brown, so I'm going to boil that in a separate pot. That's so. So I got back my bowl with some water, and I have a potato peeler here, so I'm gonna peel my potatoes and put it in the water. Remember, when you finish peeling potato, you want to put potatoes in water because it tends to get black outside of the water. So we don't want it to get black, so we have a bowl with water. So once it's finished peeling, once you finish peeling it, you're gonna put it in some water. That is my son, the littlest one in the back with the biggest voice. Right, so I'm gonna get a pot to boil, and that's gonna be for my green food, right? Right, so I'm now feeling a little bit of the itching from the dasheen. It just itches for a little bit when you're peeling it, or sometimes even after you peel it, because I'm finished peeling it and I washed my hands already, but it's still itching a bit. But by the time I'm finished cooking, that feeling's gonna go. So I have my other pot here, and this pot I'm gonna put to boil, and this is gonna be for the green fig. Usually I would also pair, oh you Trini, yes, usually I will also pair my dasheen, green fig and potato with cassava, which is also called yuca in some places, But I didn't get any by the vegetable stall or the road, so that's fine. I got much more dasheen because the dasheen was a lot more affordable this time around, so I bought more of that. Alright, so I have my potatoes here, and I'm gonna peel them now. And if you have one of these tools here, it's gonna make it super easy to peel the potato without removing a lot of the potato. As in when you peel it or try to peel it with a knife. So I have my potato here, and it's only gonna take off a thin. Oh, you're watching this and eating bacon saltfish. Yeah, I'm actually preparing provision for saltfish. So it's just a thin layer that came off or comes off when you use this. Versus if you use a knife, you're gonna take off much more skin. Right? I just subscribed. Thank you very much. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and we also just unlocked that gifts feature as well as the super thanks as well as super chat, so you can make use of that. My hands are really scratching a lot. Thank you. I have to go wash my hands again. It's itching. Eased up a bit. Ouch. And this is why when I actually buy provision on a monthly basis, or if I buy provision at the beginning of the month, I will try to peel it out, and I don't cook all of it one time. I would tend to store it in the deep freezer, and whenever I need it, I just pull it out and cook it, put it to boil if I'm putting it in soup, etc. What you making? I'm making provision and saltfish today. So right now I'm just peeling some potato to put to boil. We already put some dasheen to boil. So now it's just to put the green fig as well as the potato to boil. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I'm from Trinidad. So I'm making some provision and saltfish for my family today. difficult if you see me glimpse across on this side too. I have my other camera in front of me here, so that is for me to be able to post to my page afterwards. I've never heard of that before. That's supposed to be pumpkin pie, or blumpkin pie is blueberry and pumpkin. Oh, I understand. Oh, that makes sense. Right, so when we use this, it takes off a really thin layer from the potato versus removing a lot of the potato itself. It is just going to be wastage. So this is one of our local Trinidad dishes that I'm making here. Our potato is pretty well peeled without removing like a thick layer. Look at that thin layer. Thank you very much. Alright, so our potatoes are boiled here. I'm from Trinidad. Oh, nice to meet you. So I'm gonna just wash this off and put this in the pot that we put the dasheen in just now. So, but I live in the United States. Okay, nice. So our potatoes are clean, so I'm gonna put this in the pots behind me, and then I'm going to prepare the green fig to put into the other pots. I have to refill the same bowl with water for when we cut off the edges of our green fig. I'm gonna boil the green fig with the skin on, so when it's finished cooking, the green fig will actually come out of the skin, and we just peel it back and eat it. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to peel it when it's boiled versus when it is, you know, hard. So I'm just gonna fill this bowl and come back. Everything is being boiled just with salt and water. My saltfish is in here, and I use boneless saltfish, right? And all I had to do was put some hot water over it to remove the salt. What are you making? I'm making provision and saltfish. I'm going to use one of my older knives to cut off the edges of the green fig, because that gooiness that the green fig lets out, it tends to stain the knives and gets the knives really sticky, and then it's a lot more difficult to come out. So this is our green fig. This is our green fig. I'm just going to take it off, and I'm going to cut off the tip here and the end here also, and just put it in water. Alright, so this is what we are gonna be working with. And you see that milk that is falling from it, that is what gets everything sticky. So I prefer not to peel it back. Speed rolling dollars. Right? So I'm gonna do a few of these well, because even if it does have provision remain back, it can easily be paired with any type of peas or stewed chicken, anything. It coming. You hear that, Daddy? A Trini YouTuber live on YouTube. Yes, I'm a Trini YouTuber live on YouTube. You have never seen a Trinidadian YouTuber live before? I really enjoy going live on YouTube versus all the other social media platforms, to be quite honest. You get to reach a wider international audience versus the other platforms. It's much more of a local crowd. Shallow, you good? My son is sitting close to me in the kitchen. So for those of you who have tuned into my two other lives this morning, thank you all so very much. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise and I am a Trinidad YouTuber who showcases her local cuisine, as well as I showcase the things that I do as a wife and as a mother, as well as I also showcase what I do for my business, which is beauty related. So my clients that allow me to film and record our processes, you all can check them out in the live section of my page, because you are going to see me working, doing hair, doing makeup over on the live section of my page also. How are you doing? I am good. Teresa, I think I'm saying that correctly. Right, so our green fig is finished, so I'm gonna wash this off again, because then the water will have that milkiness and I don't want it to stick to the bowl itself. So I'm gonna wash it off and put it in the pot behind me, because by now it's supposed to be almost ready for this green fig to go into the pot. And so this is our green fig. Lovely. And I'm gonna put it in the pot behind me. Shut up, what are you doing? right? So I have a bag here, right? And I'm just gonna put all of my discard stuff into this bag here. Put this to the side. So for today, usually when I am making provision and saltfish, what I would tend to do is I would put things like, I put carrots, I put tomatoes, I'll put pimento, I'll put onions, I'll put all of those things. However, once the price is not right in the grocery or it's not right in the market, I'm not going to buy it and I substitute other items. So I don't have tomatoes today, but I am going to be putting onion and I'm going to be putting pimento in my saltfish, right? Everything else also adds additional flavor. However, once it's not in season and it's a bit too expensive, I just substitute or I minus it entirely. So if you don't have some of these things, that's okay, it's fine. It doesn't mean, yeah, I also put shadow benny in it sometimes too. If I don't have those things, then I just do without it because I know what my provision and saltfish would taste like with it and without it. And if I don't have the ingredients, then that isn't going to stop me from making it, especially if I'm feeling for it. So there are other methods and ways to do things, and if you don't have something, it doesn't mean you can't make it. Hi. Right, so I'm just gonna wash off my cutting board and you get that? And get it ready to be able to cut up my onion as well as my pimento, right? So that's all I'm going to be putting into my saltfish today. So if you don't have tomatoes, hi, you good? So if you don't have tomatoes and stuff, because I went to the vegetable guy today when I picked up everything else and he told me it was like $17 for 1 pound of tomatoes. I don't need it. It's fine. So I'm gonna wash it off and come back, as well as my knives. Yeah, it's still gonna be good. If it doesn't have it, if I don't have it, then that's fine. That's truly fine. I have to wash off my pimentos though. Yo, that's my son y'all are hearing in the background. Right, so I have to wash off my pimentos and I'll come back. Right, so I'm gonna start with probably do 2 onions for it, seeing that I don't have tomatoes and I don't have carrots. I'm gonna do 2 onions and I have some good sized onions. Might be even 3, it depends on how much I get. Right, so I'm gonna cut off the ends of the onion. Right. Just gonna remove that first outer layer. I'm gonna dice it, not too small, but not too big either. Alright, so this size is good. I'm from Trinidad, for those of you who just came in. So I'm just preparing the aromatics for my saltfish. However, if you feel like you must put tomatoes in your saltfish and you don't have it, you can easily put a little bit of ketchup in it, and that's gonna give you that thick consistency that the tomato will give you. So this is what one onion gave me, right? I am going to definitely cut another one, preferably the bigger. I bought 4 onions, so no, I bought 5 onions, my bad. So I'm gonna cut this big onion. I'm not gonna put ketchup in it, but if I was just saying that if it is that someone definitely needs to put tomatoes into their saltfish, they can put a little bit of ketchup. Oh boy, this onion is gonna make my eyes water. I'm feeling it. Ooh. Good thing this is the last one that I'm cutting. Nice. So this is what 2 big onions gave us. So this is what 2 big onions gave us, and this I think is sufficient enough for my saltfish. And now I'm going to prepare my pimentos. Right, so I washed out my pimentos already. I have to get another bowl or another plate to put the pimentos in separately. No, it's not a sauce that I'm making. It's called saltfish. So Right now my saltfish is scalding in some hot water here. Right? And it's boneless saltfish. And you fry up your aromatics and then put the saltfish in it. Because the saltfish is basically cooked already. We're just going to fry it up so that all the aromatics has been fully incorporated into it. I'm not going to cut up my pimento too small either. I like pimentos and I like red pimentos. It gives the pot a really beautiful color. So putting much more pimento in it than usual is going to help with also the substitution of the tomatoes and all the other aromatics that we don't have at the moment. You're supposed to have one right on this step right there. The white one is this one, yeah. And look at that. Yeah. The wipes, it's supposed to have a pack of wipes on it. Okay. And so this is like 5 pimentos, right? But I'm gonna put probably like about 4 more. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Charisse and I am from the Caribbean, Trinidad, to be specific. So if you aren't yet subscribed, don't forget to like and subscribe. Huh? You find so?
Yeah,
Pants on thing was it tight. Tight. See if you send on it. right? I'm not going to cut it up too small where it kind of gets lost in the saltfish. Right, so these are our two aromatics that we're going to be using. We have our pimento and we have our onions. If you have tomatoes, if you have thyme, if you have celery, if you have shadow benny, also called cilantro, or what's the next word for it? Shadow benny. Bandania. If you have bandania, you can also use those things as well. But if you don't have it, that's fine. Right. Right. So I'm going to tear apart my saltfish. I'll show you this coming. Right, so this is what our saltfish is looking like. I'm from Trinidad. We're making a local dish today, provision and saltfish. Right? So I'm just going to can squeeze it, and it's gonna actually just kind of break apart. I am still getting a few pieces of very tiny bones in them. No, it's not fresh from the market. It's a saltfish. You saw that in the camera. Right? And this is what it looks like. I have my other camera in front of me, so that is why you all are seeing me looking forward from time to time. So this is what it looks like. It's something like that. But I'm squeezing it just to make sure that I get out any extra bones that it may have. It did say boneless, however I got a few pieces of bones still in it. So if you also have carrots, you can put some grated carrots into your saltfish as well.
No, this was so short. No.
Right? No, so it's laden in like salt, and usually the one from the market usually has the bones in it, and you actually have to boil that because it's a much harder fish. However, however, what would happen is that it tends to boil for a really longer time, but the one from the grocery in the pack, which is boneless, you just need to put it in some water to remove the excess salt that is on the outside of it. So you can actually scroll or rewatch the beginning of the live to see how the saltfish actually was and why we put it in water. So it tends to have like a thick layer of salt on top of it. So when you put it in water, hot water, the hot water removes that excess salt. So what I would tend to do is I would you just fry up your aromatics, and you fry up your aromatics and then put the saltfish in it, and it helps flavor the saltfish. So you can add like tomatoes, you can add cilantro, chives, shadobeni, whatever you call it where you are from. Right? So you can see that the water is a bit cloudy. Right? That is the salt that we removed from the saltfish. Right? So now I'm just gonna wash out my pot that I have to fry my saltfish in, and I'll be right back. Because it does have oil in it. So y'all can just give me like 2 minutes. Right, so, oh, I forgot to show you all what the saltfish looks like after we tore it apart. So this is what the saltfish look like after we tore it apart. So when we put in the onion as well as the pimento in it, it's gonna give it a nice color, a nice flavor, everything is gonna be really nice. Right? So let me just kind of clear up my counter here.
Okay. Good. Wait. You good. Yay. You're not always there.
Yeah, it's sort of like really mixed up. You could call it like a salad because it does have like a ton of different things in it. It usually has carrots, it has tomatoes, it has onion, pimento, so it's fairly enough like a salad. You could add other things to it as well, but except we eat it with provision. So we paid with provision. You could also pay it with dumplings. I'm also getting a tray ready. Fair play, it looks like a tuna salad, but instead of tuna, yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. No, we just broke it apart. Thank you. So I have my tray here, and I'm gonna take you all across by the stove. Right? I'm gonna take you all across by the stove because majority of the things that we have to do now is by the stove. I have to check the other pots. I have to check the other pots that we had with the provision in it, to check to see how far the provision has come. Right? So I'm just going to hold the baby while my husband moves everything else across. For me, please. So yes, this is a local Trinidad dish that I'm making. You all can find it. If you all just tuned in, you all can actually check out or go to the beginning of the live in order to see how we started to prepare this. So on the pot here, you all have two pots here. It has a red pot in the corner here and it has the silver pot in the corner here. This one has dasheen and potato in it, and this other one on this side has green fig in it, right? And as soon as we finish setting up from by the table, we are going to show you what the provision looks like, because more than likely majority of everything in this pot is finished boiling, so we have to remove it just now. So because some of the provision has started to float to the top already, which is also an indicator that it's either finished or almost finished. So you want to make sure and still double check it. Thank you. That's my hair. You also want to still double check it. You can take a knife and stick it in it. If the knife goes all the way through, it means your provision is finished boiling and it's soft enough. So this is actually this is here for the Trini accent. Yes, thank you. This is actually one of a quick dish. So if you just have like an hour and a half to prepare stuff, but because I'm preparing this for my family, I'm doing much more. But if you're doing this like for just one person or to just have for 1 or 2 meals, then you're not gonna have this much things to do and it may only take you just about an hour. But because I'm cooking for my family, which is gonna feed us probably either once or twice, this is gonna be ideal for this amount is gonna be ideal enough. So it's gonna take me about an hour and a half to just prepare everything. Yeah. Yeah, because I want to put stuff right on counter. Yeah. What's the dish called? It's called Provision and Saltfish. So you can move this around a little bit to the side.
What? Where? Which area?
This side. I like it to this side. Yeah. Right about there. So you can see how majority of it has floated to the top. So, but this pot is really full with things in it. So we are going to just take off. We're just going to start to scoop it up and check it with the knife to make sure that it is ready. It's dropping.
You want it? There you go.
It might be too high. Just to the camera, use the back camera. Just smashing up. Yeah, that's good. She's making a kind of saltfish salad. It's a local dish. I'm just checking the comments before I continue. Yeah. It's a modernized version of a dish cooked. Yes, it is. So, I have my tray here on the side of me. So, my dashing turned like a sort of a bluish color. And when I stick the knife through, the knife goes all the way through. So I know someone was asking me earlier on if it gets soft. Yes, it does. You see the knife is going through it and it also changes color. But this is like a blue dashing. It isn't entirely blue, but it sometimes the dashing does turn like a sort of a gray blue color. Right? So this is ready. Like that. So this one is much more blue, like you can see the grayish bluish color there. So we call this blue dashing. There's blue dashing and then there's white dashing. So, like I said, for those who just tuned in, we are checking the dashing here. And we have blue dashing and we have white dashing in Trinidad. This is much more of the blue dashing. The blue dashing does tend to cook a bit harder than the white dashing, and quite honestly, I prefer the blue dashing. It has a nicer taste also. So while we was preparing everything else, this cooked in that time. I don't think I need to check these because you could clearly see that it's really soft. I do have some potato in here as well. Okay, so I just got a potato. Potato is pretty soft also. Got another potato. And our knife is going all the way through it, which means it's thoroughly cooked. And another indicator, like I said before, to check to know if your provision has been fully cooked, they tend to float to the top of the water. So as I keep removing them, there are others that are that was below that are coming all the way up. This is a bigger potato, but it's fully cooked. And like I was saying, even if there is provision remain back from my, like if the saltfish is finished and there's provision remain back, you could easily pair this with any type of peas, and we pair it sometimes with stewed chicken. It could be paired with just about anything. So it's, if you are a person that eats a lot of starch like rice, this is a much healthier alternative. It's a heavy starch, but it's another alternative for rice. So sometimes I like to take a break from the rice and eat provisions. So I'm just going to remove this pot here because I don't need this water anymore. So we're gonna check the green fig now. I have faith in trees. Thank you. Right, nice. So we're gonna check the green fig now, and you see the green fig did turn to like a brownish color, but you could see on the end here that the green fig is already coming out of the sack. So this means that your green fig is ready to come off the stove. Right? It's just green fig in here, so I may just have to strain the water and I could leave the green fig in the pot. Or I just put it in the tray so that it has enough time to kind of to cool down. Also, another indicator is you see how this green fig is opening and splitting on the outside. That's another indicator that your green fig is ready to come off the stove. Turn off the stove because everything is finished here. I'm just gonna remove this pot now. And I'm gonna put the tray on the stove so that y'all can see what everything looks like. So this is our provision here. So this is what our provision is looking like. Right, so that is our provision there. I'm going to actually put up the next pot on the stove, and this is we're gonna start to prepare the saltfish now. Right?
funny.
So I'm just gonna move this and put it back. I'm gonna put it on the table. So I'm gonna get my pot that I would usually use to put oil in. Anything I'm making with oil, I use it in this. I do it in that pot. And we just have to wait for all the water particles to dry up before we add oil to that. Also, I'm just waiting for the pot, the water particles and the pot to dry up because I washed out the pot before, and then I will put the oil in.
Is there a view and everything?
Yeah, right here. I'll move your hand for this one.
Oh, come on.
Alright, so my pot doesn't have any water particles in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some oil in it.
Yeah.
Right, I have to remove the cap because I just purchased this. This is a new bottle. And you're gonna put a generous amount of oil, like that amount. Right, in there, allow that to heat up. Our pot is already hot, but we want the oil to heat up now, so you just want to give that like a 2 minutes before you start putting things in it. Okay, so we're almost finished cooking and my hand has stopped scratching from that dashing earlier on. Alright, I could feel the heat coming from there. So the first thing that I'm going to put in is the onions, right? And you can hear it sizzling, which means the oil is really hot. So I just want to spread that out throughout the oil, throughout the pot, and just let that cook for a few minutes. Probably like 1 to 2 minutes because you don't want it entirely brown. Nice to see you all are doing some forgiving in the comments, man. Love to see that. We want this to soften up a bit, so we don't want it to get brown, and we want it to also flavor the oil. Right, now I'm gonna throw in my pimentos. Alright, so we want this to cook down a bit into the oil. Y'all in Trinidad, we like to, after we turn it off, we tend to like to knock the pot a bit. We want everything to soften up a bit, that hence the reason I have not added anything else to the pot as yet. It does smell delicious. Truly does. This way a little bit for you guys to see. Right, so our onions have started to get a bit more on the transparent side. So now I'm going to put in my saltfish. My saltfish in there, and I'm just gonna turn it up, make sure everything is incorporated really well into the oil and into the pot. So you see how the pimento give it a really nice color, made the dish a little more colorful. I'm just going to allow that to cook a bit. You could actually cover it down and let all the flavors just simmer into the oil, and that way the flavors doesn't escape the pot. Alright, I may just turn on the pot. I don't want everything in it to burn, so I'm just turning on the flame. It really doesn't add any spicy at all. It isn't spicy. Some pimentos, if it's grown next to like Scotch bonnet pepper, which is the spicy hot pepper, then you may get a little bit of spice in it. But most of the time it just adds a flavor. It really doesn't add much, like it isn't spicy. So we're just waiting for that to kind of simmer in all together. The tomatoes and stuff really adds like a nice sort of like a reddish color to it. It also adds a little bit of sweet slash tanginess to the entire dish. But if you don't have it, that's fine. And usually you would use more of the juicy, very juicy tomatoes to do that with, so that when it releases the juices in the saltfish, it adds a nice color. So again, the reason that we cover it down is so that all the flavors and the steam from it ensure that the saltfish actually cooks well in it, and all the flavors is incorporated into the saltfish and it isn't just like put there. Sometimes though, when you add the saltfish, if you boil the saltfish, sometimes you may boil out too much of the salt, so we do have to taste it just now to ensure that all the salt has not been removed, because then we'll need to add just a little bit of salt in it. Trinidad dishes usually are a mixture of sweet and salty. That's how we usually cook here in Trinidad. So yeah. So most of our dishes you're gonna find with that type of combination. So I did load down the fire a bit so that my oil doesn't dry down and my aromatics and my entire pot doesn't burn. So I want it to really just simmer. So turning the heat all the way down is going to help that pot to simmer and not burn. So you want the slow releases of all the flavors to be fully incorporated into each other. Yes, it gives it a nice pinkish reddish pigment without the artificial dyes. Right, nice. So I'm gonna check it now. Oh, smells lovely. Right, so that is our dish there. So our saltfish is finished. Let me just check it for salt, just to make sure that we don't need to add any additional salt. I'm gonna get a fork outside of my spoon. Doesn't need anything. It still has sufficient salt in it and everything. So we can turn off the stove and we can prepare a plate. How you all feel about that? You all want to see me eat this dish with you all? I'm cooking, Mama. So this is what we're working with. Alright, so I'm going to take you all guys back by the table and I'm going to prepare a plate. So just give me a few minutes.
Oh, not really.
Mommy, I was going to come back to AP.
That's it.
Mommy, I want some
That's it. Yes, it does. It's simple yet flavorful. That's what we're going for. So it's really a simple dish to make. Yes. Bring you guys up a little. Nice. Right. I'm just waiting for my husband to finish setting up the other one. It's a really simple dish to make. Everything as in the starches, you're gonna boil it separately, and you're gonna put that up to boil while you prepare everything else. So we have our green fig first, and this is gonna make it really easy to just peel out that green fig and just remove the skin. So trying to remove the skin outside of it being boiled is gonna be much difficult. Alright. So I'm just preparing 2 plates for my husband and I to eat. You could also pair this with dumpling if you all like dumplings. Alright, so we're not gonna give it. I like to cook bananas. It enhances the flavor because it's good. So this is green bananas, so it isn't the ripe ones. We use the green ones. It's very rich in iron. Alright. Now for me to prepare the other plates. tops.
That's what we do.
Real boy.
I'm not tired, yeah, let's do it.
Right, so I'm gonna bring this saltfish over. So this is what our provision is looking like before we put the saltfish in it. Right. Let me just right. So now I'm gonna just plate the saltfish here. So this is how our provision and saltfish is looking. Right? So we have two plates here. We have our potato on this side, we have the green fig, and then we have the dasheen, and of course the saltfish right there. And this is one of our local Caribbean Trinidad dishes. This is just absolutely lovely. It's not a very hard meal to make. I did take a little bit longer than usual because I'm interacting with you all, but this is a very quick dish to make if it is that you are preparing this for yourself. I'm gonna head out for a drive now, but solid cooking today. Thank you very much. So, do y'all think I should sit and eat this with y'all? How y'all feel about that? Because I have to eat lunch, so my lunch is ready. How y'all feel about me sitting to eat this lunch with you guys? Let me know. Or if y'all think I should just take a break. Take a break? Yeah, I think so. Alright, so guys, that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this live. I really did enjoy cooking with you all today. Yes, I'm going to spend some time with my family. Yeah, probably sit and watch a show with my husband while we eat lunch. But yeah. So that's it for today. I have a mama's boy here. Right. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed cooking with me today. And if you all are interested in cooking with me again, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you all will stay tuned for when I go live again. I'm not sure. I may have to cook on Friday. Yeah, but I'm not sure what I'll be cooking as yet. I'll talk to my husband and see what we come up with. But yeah, so that's it for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.